So I'm actually hiding out in the caravan. But what I was going to show you was rawl plugs, all right? Or wall anchors, to be precise. Rawl plug is a brand name. There's a few different types, and this list is by no means exhaustive. This is just a basic guide to different types of wall anchors. So I think this is the one we all kind of recognize. You can see this one. With its like little wings here. So the idea is you grab a drill bit that will match the size of this. It usually says on them what size they are. And then you drill the hole in the plasterboard and you pop that in. This one is universal. So actually this one can be used in lots of different types. You can use it in a brick wall or you can use it on a plasterboard wall. Obviously the only wall you won't need to use a rawl plug on or wall anchor in is timber, because the screw is going to attach to the timber. So that one is universal, but I would have used that in plasterboard a lot. Then we have this one, which is your masonry one. Now again, there are much stronger ones out there. It depends on what you're hanging. But generically, this would be your concrete one. See the way it's smooth? That's the one you would use. So again, you just drill a hole to match the size and then just pop that in. That's it. And your last one is, no, not last. We have this one. So I used to love this one, right? I would use it in plasterboard. That's where it's suitable, really. You have your screw and your toggle bolt. And what it is you want to match your drill size to this, right? So you will attach your bolt to this then push it like this, pop it into the wall, and once it goes far enough, this will, it's not working. This will spring open. So this springs open behind the plasterboard and it catches it like that. And then you just tighten your screw and it'll, I'm feeling that's not the right size. Yeah, and then that's open behind your plasterboard and it's not going to go anywhere. So it's a really strong one. And then if you ever want to remove it, you will just take the screw out. You won't leave that much of a hole, because as you take the screw out, this will just drop down and you get your screw out and that's gone, and there's not a big mark in the wall. Same with these aren't going to leave a huge mark. This one is the one that I was using the other day, if anyone saw my stories on floating shelves. So this is the one I used. It's a hollow wall anchor. There's two ways to put them in. And actually I'd like to show you it in use what happens here, but I'll see if I can do that in a minute. So what you do is you obviously match your drill bit size to this. So this is a 5. So you'll use a 5mm drill bit and you'll pop that into the wall, and then you will just get a hammer. I would take this out for that. So take the bolt out and then just hammer that in, and it has like little claws, if you can see there, and that will stick into the plasterboard. Now, then when you screw whatever the object is in, the screw gets really tight and it'll make this expand, right? But there is a cool kind of gadget or gun for doing it, right? And what you do is, you don't have to take the screw out. You drill your hole, you push that in a bit, and then you hook this in there. And you can fire it in. And what that'll do is that'll actually pull the screw out and it'll make these expand. It's just, if you were doing loads of them, it's pretty cool. But I will see if I can get some plasterboard or something to show you it in action. So, as I said, that list is not exhaustive, but it is an idea of which rawl plug you should be using. Because to be honest, when I started out, like, I was sometimes using them in a plasterboard wall and stuff wouldn't hold, it would just fall out, which wasn't great. And then I was using them for everything, which I didn't realise at the time, but they are actually universal and you can use them. But obviously it depends on how heavy the object is that you're hanging and what size of this you would need. And of course now I go for overkill, so I tend to use these a lot. Okay, so before we start this, it's a really important announcement. This hoodie is way too big on me, okay? I grabbed it because it's cold and I'm coming out to the garage to show you this. Alright, so excuse my laziness for grabbing the first thing that I found. Now, important stuff, alright? I wanted to show you how these hollow wall anchors worked. There's two ways of putting them in. So first of all, you can just drill the hole, hammer them in, and then obviously screw it tight, and that will work. Or you can use this really cool gadget. So you're going to drill your hole. Okay, you are going to pop this in. Right, now you could just get a hammer and tap that, and then you see those little claws, they will obviously go into the plasterboard, so you could do that. However, what I do is pop it in. I will grab this gun, so we're going to pop it in a bit. We'll unscrew it a little bit, just enough to grab, just enough for this to grab this, and then I pull it back. Okay, I just keep pulling the trigger. It doesn't really want to go. A bit of strength. Okay, now can you see what's after happening there at the back? That's after opening up. All right, so I'll pull this, and I'll keep pulling the trigger until like I can't really pull it anymore. Okay, and then I just press the release trigger here. Now, this is pushed in at the front, and it has opened up at the back. So that is not going anywhere. Then you just get whatever the object is, whether it's a bracket or anything. And then when you tighten it, so you can see the back is completely spread out and the front is insecure. So it's not going to go anywhere. And two things I forgot to mention. So the whole point of a rawl plug is that when you put it into the wall and you screw into it, that it'll open up, and then that will catch the plasterboard or masonry or whatever, and it won't pull out. It just gives you more support. And the other thing is, I forgot to show you this one. So this is another type of wall anchor, and it's actually probably the easiest one to use because you don't even need to drill. So if you go to your plasterboard, you put this in, and then you just screw it. It'll actually go in and grip the plasterboard, and then you just pop the screw into it. So that is actually a really, really handy one. And then that is it. So if you have any more questions for me on wall anchors or anything else, then let me know, and I will do my best to answer them for you. I hope you found this really useful. Cheers.